In this video, we're going to learn how to create a custom speech for our host. Now, it's important to remember that speeches are essentially used and connected by using Amazon Polly. Amazon Polly is a separate text-to-speech service with AWS. And because Sumerian is integrated with Amazon Polly, we can start using some of the voices and the capabilities of Polly directly in the Sumerian editor. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So let's get started. All right, we are here back on our scene that we left off with in the last video. If you remember in the last video, we already had the hosts, and we just went through the host component. So the point of interest we set as the default camera, animate using speech, we left on lip sync gestures, and gesture hold time we went down to 1, and then 0.1 for minimum gesture period. All right, so in this episode or in this video, we're going to look at the speech component right here. So remember, I have my host selected in the entities panel, and then I go over to the inspector panel, and I'll find the host component or the speech component. Now, if you go to the voice, right now it's set to Aditi. Aditi is the Amazon Polly voice, and although Maya is the host, it's using the voice of Aditi. If I select this drop-down menu of voices, you see there are a bunch of voices. And at the time of recording this recording, and the last count, the last I counted, it was somewhere around 24 voices, languages over 57 accents. So something around there. So in the 20-something voices over 50-something accents. It's something like that. But of course, Polly is adding on to that all the time. So that is what the voice is. I'm going to leave it as Aditi. I think Aditi is a good voice. Volume we'll just leave at 1. And here under speech files, you notice that it says drop speech file, meaning there are no speeches. So if I have a speech file already over in my assets panel, which I do not, then we can create a new one. And so we'll press the plus button to create a new speech. This will open up the text editor, as you can see here. Now the text editor is used for lots of stuff. So if you are editing scripts or you're editing HTML, that's going to be done. I'll increase the size of my screen there. Everything will be done here in the text editor, as well as speeches. So right off the bat, let's just do something very, very simple. We will do hi there, exclamation point. My name is Maya, and I am a Sumerian host, exclamation point. How are you today? All right, it's important for the text editor to always click save. Notice how it's a blue dot next to the speech. Click save, green dot. Green is ready to go. Okay, so then I will close out my text editor. And you notice that I have the speech file right here. And what we need to do next, though, if we press play, the host won't actually say anything yet. That's because there's not a state machine or anything triggering this speech. The speech is attached, but the host doesn't know that when or if or how she's supposed to start speaking. So we need to add component and click state machine. You may already have a state machine attached to your host. If you do not, then make sure you just go to add component and add a state machine component. And we don't have any behaviors, so we will click the plus button. First thing we want to do, as always, is name our behavior. And for state 1, you notice that if you are watching this video, I would encourage you to look at some of the state machine basics tutorials that are, and they will be listed in the description of this video. So I'm not going to explain everything about the state machine right now, because you can find that in some other videos and tutorials. But for the state 1, we're going to rename it to AWS SDK. I will click add action. This is just a best practice to add this action, and I'm going to search for AWS. And then you see the AWS SDK ready action, and it just explains it, performs a transition when the AWS SDK has been initiated and is ready for use. So this is just standing up all the services that we need and making sure that they are ready to be used. So we'll just click add. We'll leave that as the initial state. Click add state again to add another state, and we'll just call this one start speech. Then we'll click add action. And we will look for search for the start speech action. All right. Now, because I have let me move these over here. because I have start speech selected, I can see it, the details in the inspector panel. The select speech drop-down menu, I can select speech. Because right now, if I just go, well, I guess I can't go back, but this is my only speech available, so this is what I have to choose. So then I just need to add a transition from here to here. And let's press play and see what happens.
Hi there. My name is Maya and I am a Sumerian host. How are you today?
All right, notice how she is moving. She's still following the camera along like it was in the last video because her target, her point of interest target is the camera. And her lips were moving during the speech. Okay, great. That's really all you need to do to start a speech. However, there are some other things that we can do to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's look into that. We want to add gestures. And so in order to add gestures, notice that, she was moving a little bit. She was like, she didn't raise her hand. She didn't wave. She didn't point at herself or you. There's lots of things that hosts can do using gestures. So going back to the Maya hoodie, I will select in the inspector panel. I'll go back to speech component. And first, let's rename this speech because that's something I should have done. So let me rename this speech here. Okay, so I'll just rename it, click save. And notice that the intro speech updates over here. Okay, all right. Now, what are we going to do next? We need to add gestures. Now, in order to add gestures, we first need to do one quick thing, which is we need to add the gesture map. First, we need to add a gesture map. And it's already included in your scene, so all you need to do is click the plus button. And this will add the gesture map, the default gesture map. We'll walk through how to use this in a moment. But notice that first off the bat, you see how it says gesture, big, gesture, heart, in, mini, movement, one, aggressive. There's several different gestures. There's a bunch of other words here, though, when we do something in here just in a second, when we add gestures automatically, the scene is going to look for all of these words in your speech, and if it sees any of these words, it's going to add a big tag. Same with all these words. If our scene detects that any of these words are present in our speech, it's going to add the heart gesture. The ones that oftentimes get added are self and you, because this kind of intro speech of, hello, I am a Sumerian host. How are you today? Let's go to the intro speech. So notice there it says, hi there. Hi is going to add the wave gesture. The word my is going to add the self gesture. And I is also going to add a self gesture, and the word you is going to add a you gesture. Now, what do I mean by how those are going to be added? Let's go back to our scene. And we have the default gesture map there, so we actually don't need to do anything else. Next to our intro speech, there's this interesting looking icon that kind of looks like a weird heart, but it's actually somebody holding, I believe it's somebody, a character holding VR controllers. But you never notice that as I hover over it, it says auto-generate gesture marks. I'm going to click that button. Then I'll click the edit button again to pull back up my speech. And notice that now my speech has a bunch of SSML. This is a best place to start, and we'll see how this works in a second. But this is always a good thing. If you're going to add gestures, it's a good thing to just to start off by clicking that auto-generate gesture marks, and then you can start editing it from there. Now look, just as I said, the word hi added the wave gesture, my added the self gesture, I added another self gesture, and you added the you gesture. Now, this isn't a very long speech, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 gestures. That's a lot of gestures in a very short amount of time. The thing is, this wave gesture is probably going to override all of the other gestures in here. And so we'll look at how this works in just a moment, and we'll actually create another speech or show another pre-made speech just to demonstrate how it works. I'll click save, press play, and see what happens.
Hi there. My name is Maya and I am a Sumerian host.
Okay, there we go.
How are you today?
Actually, got 3 of the gestures. That actually is surprising. Okay, so it actually fired off 3 gestures. She waved, she pointed at herself, and then she pointed at you, the camera. All right, so that works. Now, we want to look at some other gestures and some other possibilities. So I'll bring this back up. Now, for example, if you wanted to add some different gestures in there, other than the ones that are automatically provided, you can go over to your default gesture map and select things like movement. And just copy that word movement, and you can add it into here. And then you'll see the movement gesture. Then you can start copying and pasting all these. So you really use this default gesture map as a library of options of gestures. And there are some other SSML. It's using Poly. We're going to get a little bit more into Poly and how to use Poly separately outside of Sumerian as a good kind of like testing ground and a sandbox for creating and developing speeches. We'll do that in the next video. But for right now, let's just look at a speech that I have already created. I'm just going to copy and paste this in here, and we'll walk through it very quickly. Okay, so it has this speak opening and closing tag to begin with, and then it adds a break time. So it's good to add a little bit of a buffer on speeches, just because sometimes the audio can start before the video gets loaded, and so you give yourself half a second or a second before they start talking. It just is a nice little buffer. Then we have the wave gesture next to hi. Then we have another break time for half a second. And it's good to add in some breaks and pauses essentially to a speech to make it sound a little more natural. My name is Maya, and I'm a Sumerian host. And then we have the self gesture tag. Then we break. Let's see. I'm so glad you could join us today. Break for 1 second. Sumerian hosts can perform several hand and body gestures. This generic C is like a gesture where she kind of just puts her hands at her side. We'll see that. Then defensive, we can act very defensive, and we have the defense gesture in there. Break for half a second, and in the very next moment, show a great deal of sympathy with the heart gesture tag. Break for 1.5 seconds, and then I hope you enjoy this video course because there's so much to learn with the mini gesture tag. Okay, so let's save it and see what happens.
Hi there. My name is Maya, and I am a Sumerian host. I am so glad you could join us today.
Self-gesture.
Sumerian hosts can perform several hand and body gestures. We can act very defensive.
There's a defense.
And in the very next moment show a great deal of sympathy.
That's the heart gesture.
I hope you enjoy this video course because there is so much to learn.
That's the mini gesture. Okay. Now again, I tried to pack as many gestures as I could in there. So your speech might not have that many gestures. But you might want to try to space out the gestures a little bit more than that. But again, I just wanted to demonstrate some gestures. So to recap, again, if you are adding in gestures, the best thing to do is to click this auto-generate gesture tag. And then once you do that, it'll add in some tags. And then you can go in there and move them around, delete some, because a lot of times it's going to add way more gestures than you need. But it's a good place to start, and at least to get some of the formatting of the gestures in there. Then, of course, you can add this break time. This can be in milliseconds or seconds, and to kind of split that up as well. This is called SSML. There's a lot of other things to learn with SSML, and we're going to get into that in the next video. But for that pretty much wraps up this video on how to create a custom speech for your host. Now, one thing I want to point out is you don't necessarily have to have a host to have a speech component. So I could add a box, and let's just do that. And then I can add component to this box, and I can add a speech component. And I can actually take the speeches that I have. I can add this speech component to this box. Now, I currently don't have a state machine. I would have to do it on this box, or add a state machine for this box as well to speak. But you get the point that speeches don't have to necessarily be attached to a host. They can be attached to any entity. You can also just create an empty entity, which has no visuals in your scene. Just if you wanted some sort of like voiceover or monologue, or there's a lot of reasons or use cases that you would want to use a speech component and not have a host, which makes total sense. So there is other options for that. But that wraps up this video. And I hope you join us in the next video where we will look at how to go into Poly itself and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into SSML and creating speeches. So I hope you join us, and thanks for watching.